When remaining the same becomes more painful than stepping into the unknown, you reach a crossroads moment. The Scorpio blueprint was created for that moment. This is a guide for the ones who have given too much, carried too much, and stayed too long in places that ask them to dim their fire. It's for those who learn to survive by shrinking, pleasing, or abandoning pieces of themselves just to keep the peace. Deep inside, you already feel it. You're standing on the edge of profound change. Something in you is preparing for a shift, a genuine transformation into a life that feels aligned, grounded, and true. This blueprint is yours. Across these chapters, you'll uncover the patterns that keep you stagnant and begin replacing them with choices that honor your energy, your truth, and your capacity to grow. You'll learn to speak with more clarity, hold boundaries that protect your peace, and move with a steadier sense of inner value and direction. This is not a shortcut. This is a reclamation, a return to the kind of strength that doesn't need approval, a return to the kind of clarity that can walk away when necessary, a return to the kind of life that rises from the inside out. So take a breath, settle into the moment. You've arrived at the threshold of who you're becoming. Let the Scorpio blueprint lead you into the transformation already waiting within you. Welcome back to the Scorpio blueprint. Step 5. Walk away with your head held high. Every transformation demands a moment when you must leave. Leave the relationship, leave the job, leave the friendship, leave the version of yourself that tolerated the intolerable. This is your moment. Walking away stands among the most powerful things you can do, and one of the hardest, especially for Scorpios who form deep bonds and struggle to release what they've invested in. But here's what you need to understand: leaving isn't quitting, leaving is choosing. It's the conscious decision to stop participating in your own suffering. It's the recognition that some situations cannot be fixed, healed, or endured any longer. The Stoics believed in the dichotomy of control. You control your choices, not outcomes. You cannot control whether someone changes, whether a situation improves, whether your sacrifice finally pays off, but you can control whether you stay or go. And staying in situations that diminish you is a choice. This is a choice made every single day that you don't leave. Let's be clear about what deserves to be walked away from. Relationships where you're constantly defending your worth. Jobs that exploit your loyalty and underpay your talent. Friendships that are one sided. Situations where you're giving everything and receiving nothing. Environments that require you to be less than you are. People who treat you as optional, replaceable, or convenient. You know what needs to be left. You've known for a while. Maybe you're just afraid. Afraid of being alone, afraid you won't find better, afraid of the discomfort, the conflict, the change, afraid you're making a mistake, afraid you'll regret it. But let me ask you this: how long have you been unhappy? How many times have you thought about leaving? How much has already changed for the better since you've been waiting for the right time? The right time doesn't exist. Every reason to stay presents itself. Holidays coming up, someone needs you, it's not that bad. You've invested so much, maybe things will improve. Things will not improve. Not on their own, not without significant change. And if the other person or situation was capable of that change, it would have happened by now. You are not responsible for fixing what broke you. You are not obligated to stay where you're not valued. You are not required to keep trying when you're the only one trying. I stayed in a relationship for 2 years past its expiration date. I knew it was over. I felt it in my bones. Every conversation felt forced. Every interaction left me feeling emptier. We'd become strangers who shared space, going through the motions of a relationship that had died long ago. But I stayed because I'd invested so much time, because I kept thinking maybe if I just tried harder, loved better, gave more, she would finally see me, finally appreciate me, finally become the partner I needed. And she didn't, because she couldn't. Not because she was incapable of being a good partner, just incapable of being one for me. And every day I stayed was a day I betrayed myself. Every night I ended bound to someone who felt like a stranger was a night I chose someone else's comfort over my freedom. Every morning I woke up in that relationship was a morning I said, "This is good enough for me." It wasn't good enough. I deserved more, but I was too afraid to claim it. What finally made me leave wasn't courage, it was exhaustion. I was so tired of pretending, so tired of performing, so tired of being lonely in a relationship, so tired of hoping tomorrow would be different when every tomorrow was the same. So I left, and it was one of the hardest things I'd ever done, and also the most necessary. Here's how you do it. First, make the decision completely, not "I will leave if," or "I should probably," or "maybe next month." No, decide. Fully, finally, irrevocably decide. The moment you make a complete decision, everything shifts. Your energy changes, your clarity increases, the universe responds. Partial decisions keep you trapped in limbo. They drain your energy as you constantly reconsider, reevaluate, renegotiate with yourself. Partial decisions mean you're always one foot out the door, but never actually leaving. I lived in partial decision limbo for months. If she doesn't change by Christmas, I will leave. Christmas came and went. If she doesn't show up for me 3 months later, I leave. She couldn't show up. I didn't leave either. Every deadline I set and didn't honor was another promise broken to myself, another self betrayal, another day of my life spent waiting for someone else to change instead of changing my circumstances. The day I made a complete decision, everything shifted. I stopped hoping. I stopped waiting. I stopped negotiating with myself. I just knew I'm leaving, period. No conditions, no timelines, just done. And once I made that decision completely, the path forward became clear. Not easy, but clear. This is Scorpio Sun and 4 other placements signing out for now. Thanks for joining me for Step 5, Part 1. If you like this content, show me in the likes, shares, and comments. I'll be back for Part 2 of this step in the next video. Until then, stay grounded, stay open, and most importantly, stay yourself.